Up all new on Local 4 News at 5 p.m.
A 10-year-old makes a call no child should ever have to make, dialing 911 to tell police his father is about to kill his mother. The story here in just a few moments. Also, President Trump's big breakfast with Detroit's big three automakers. We'll take you live to Washington, D.C. Here comes Ben.
We're getting spoiled out there, Devin. Not with the sky conditions, but with the temperatures. 40s still hanging around, but they're going away quick. We'll look at the replacement temperatures coming up at 5.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
Mild air soon to get replaced by real January numbers. How soon will the 30s show up?
The Big Three's breakfast with the president. What did they talk about? What was the reaction by your representatives here in Washington? I'll have it next.
All right, Rod, but first, horrifying new details emerging after a mother of three is stabbed to death inside this Commerce Township home. We're glad you're with us today at 5. We have now learned one of that mother's children, a 10-year-old, is the one who made the desperate call to 911.
It all happened last night at this home in Commerce Township, and it's her husband who's now in custody in connection to this horrible act. So let's get right to Coco McAvoy. She's live. And Coco, what's the family saying tonight?
Kimberly and Devin, the family is just heartbroken. The fact that the 10-year-old child called police saying that the father had a knife, it's just chilling, and they're devastated. And they say that Christy Ravenscroft was a beautiful person, a wonderful mother, and they just cannot believe that any of this has happened.
All morning, I had to call into work so I could come get these guys.
Michelle and other family members full of emotion and grabbing the family's pets from the home, where authorities say Christy Ravenscroft was stabbed to death last night.
I woke up this morning and clicked on Facebook and it said woman found dead in Commerce, and it was my cousin, and I lost my mind.
Michelle says she was even more shocked to hear Ravenscroft's husband, who is Michelle's cousin, was arrested after authorities say he answered the door covered in blood, saying his wife was dead.
He is so successful and he's so kind. They just got back from vacation. Like, we're all shocked because we don't even know of any of them ever fighting ever. You know, they're like the nicest, most normal couple, so loving.
Nina Cadioli lives just a few houses down and says her children often played with Ravenscroft's 3 kids.
Devastating, shocked. We're very sad for the children. Our hearts go out to the children mostly.
Now Ravenscroft's husband is being interviewed by authorities as they try to figure out what could have possibly caused this senseless crime that claimed the life of a woman who meant so much to her family.
She was the nicest, sweetest person that anyone's ever met.
And we want to be clear, the reason why we are not naming Ravenscroft's husband is because he has not been charged with any crimes. However, we do know that he's in the hospital recovering from self-inflicted wounds. We also know that he used to work at Quicken Loans, and Quicken Loans did release a statement to their employees saying, quote, our former technology team leader reportedly took his wife's life last night and attempted to take his own as well. We also know that they are providing grief counselors for employees. Reporting live this afternoon, I'm Coco McAvoy, Local 4.
Coco, we heard one of the family members there mention that she had never even heard of them fighting before. Do we know if police had had any contact with this family in the past?
Right, because as you mentioned, family says they're just completely shocked for that reason. But neighbors in the area tell us that the Oakland County Sheriff's Office was at that house just this past weekend, and that they were also at the house about a month ago, but they didn't think anything of it at the time.
Yeah. Meanwhile, police continue to investigate. All right, Coco, thanks.
All right, now to some breaking news that the people living in the city of Flint have been waiting nearly 3 years to hear, and that is that the water is now safe to drink.
Yeah, good news, but it doesn't mean that Flint residents are out of the woods just yet. Karen Drew is live in the newsroom with the latest on this much anticipated announcement. Karen.
Well, Kimberly, Devin, Thursday marked 1,000 days since the water was first tainted with unsafe levels of lead, and today's announcement is a huge step in the path towards cleaning drinking water. I should say cleaner drinking water. The Michigan Department of Environmental Quality released the report just a few hours ago. The report lays out the newest measurements taken from water sources around the city. here's what you need to know. Lead levels from multiple Flint water sources taken at the end of December averaged at 12 parts per billion, while the EPA's regulatory maximum is 15 parts per billion. The level of lead in the water has been gradually decreasing since the original contamination began when the city of Flint switched water sources back in April of 2014. Now, looking ahead, the NDEQ says they plan to replace 7% of all lead-lined pipes by July 1st. And we did ask Governor Snyder for comment, and he released the following statement. In it, it says, there is still more work to do in Flint, and I remain committed to helping the residents recover and restore their city. It is one more step along the path towards Flint's future. In the meantime, the city of Flint is telling residents they do still need to use tap water filters, as replacing the lead lines will cause temporary spikes in lead contamination. Full replacement of the city's pipes is expected to take years. Of course, we will stay on top of this one. Kimberly and Devin, back to you.
All right, Karen. Well, we now turn to the White House, where Detroit took center stage today as President Trump sat down with all of the big three CEOs.
Mostly smiles and handshakes for the cameras as Mary Barra, Mark Fields, and Sergio Marchionne sat down with the president and his staff for breakfast today.
Cameras were only allowed inside the room for introductions before the real work began. And we're told the discussion was wide-ranging, covering everything from jobs to manufacturing and trade. After the meeting, the president had this to say.
We're bringing manufacturing back to the United States big league. We're reducing taxes very substantially, and we're reducing unnecessary regulations. And we want regulations, but we want real regulations that mean something.
Well, let's bring in our business editor, Rod Maloney, in Washington tonight. Rod, the president has been making it very clear. Jobs are his top priority, especially manufacturing jobs right now.
Devin, we're at a fascinating point in our presidential politics here. Let's think about this, because what you have is a president, and there is this vast divide politically in this country, and that you take jobs, you take the auto industry, you put them all together, and all of a sudden, at least for the Michigan delegation, there's a lot of unity here. They're getting high praise for this notion of more jobs. But when you start having these conversations, it can go off into 5 differing directions. And the big thing that everybody seemed to be talking about after the breakfast this morning was China's trade policies. GM CEO Mary Barra, Fiat Chrysler CEO Sergio Marchionne, who'd just flown 12 hours from Italy, and Mark Fields on his birthday. We're happy to say their breakfast with the president went swimmingly.
We appreciate the president's courage to walk away from a bad trade deal. So I think as an industry, we're excited about working together.
And while jobs are paramount, the big victory really from this breakfast was that President Trump gave thumbs down to the Trans-Pacific Partnership, a job killer if there ever was one, says Michigan Senator Debbie Stabenow.
They are not supposed to manipulate the value of their money in a way that gives them an artificial discount when they're selling into the United States or anyone else in the world. They do that.
For the automakers, of course, it's all about being able to make money building vehicles in America. The Trump campaign pledges of border tariffs and reduced corporate income taxes lead Michigan Senator Gary Peters to believe that a larger and more carefully constructed approach is needed.
You have to have a dialogue, but ultimately you need a long-term manufacturing policy. It's much broader than just one particular issue.
For Republican Congressman David Trott, this boils down really to a more promising Michigan future.
Yeah, it's a manufacturing base of our country, and the meeting with the big three, less than a week in office, I think is a good sign that we plan to grow our manufacturing in Michigan.
All right, well, you can't solve these kinds of major economic issues over a cup of coffee, but the conversation has started. Reporting live from Washington, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
More coming up.
Okay, well, William Melendez, the former Inkster police officer convicted in the beating of unarmed motorist Floyd Dent, is now a free man. Melendez was released today from the Bellamy Creek Correctional Facility in Ionia. The ex-cop served 14 months, the minimum prison sentence that he could serve. Video of the assault captured on dash cam showing Melendez repeatedly punching Dent was made public by Local 4 defenders. Dent says he has no animosity about Melendez's release.
We have been dealing with a lack of sun for days now. Temperatures still warmer, but...
You're right, and now it looks like the temperatures, that's going away. Ben's tracking some chillier weather, Ben.
Yeah, guys, not exactly shorts and t-shirt weather that we've been through, but it is above average for this time of year. In fact, really about 10 degrees in some cases, even more. But right now we've sunk into the 30s, still hanging on to 40 here at City Airport in Grosse Ile. Looks like we'll have about maybe 24 to 48 hours more of these mild temperatures, and then things are going to start to go south in a hurry. Overnight this evening, we'll see those temperatures fall from 39 at 6 o'clock to 36 at midnight, and that's still above average for our daily high. So cloudy skies are still with us. That's no change, but we will look at some other changes that are coming along with those cold temperatures, make it feel a little bit more like January, coming up in a few minutes. Guys?
Okay, Ben. It's a race against the clock to find a car stolen from a Highland Park dealership.
Hot one, too. This is surveillance video from Snethkamp Chrysler on the 16,000 block of Woodward near McNichols. You see the thieves circling this Dodge Orange Hellcat overnight. This was about 1 a.m. Thieves busted a window and then took off with this very popular car.
In a minute and a half, they had it loaded on a flatbed and gone to who knows where. That's our most expensive car. It's a fast hot rod sports car, so they're pretty popular, yes.
If you got any information or have seen the car, Highland Park Police would like you to call.
All right, much more ahead here at 5. Nick?
An incredibly emotional hearing today as a man accused of drunk driving and killing a 12-year-old found out how long he'll spend in jail.
He had 12 prior chances to change his ways. He doesn't deserve a 13th.
You heard right, 12 previous convictions. What the mother of that 12-year-old girl, Victoria Mack, had to say to that driver.
Will healthcare be dramatically improved, or could you be stuck paying much more? I'm Hank Winchester. A look at what changes we can expect under President Trump. It's coming up, new tonight.
All right, Hank, but first, thieves frantically tear apart this office. It's where it happened that has Detroit police especially alarmed. And we'll have that next.
This is new at 6.
Gunshots ring out next door to where police are responding to another emergency. We're told this man was the shooter. At 6, you'll hear who he was trying to shoot, according to police.
Plus, there's movement in the case of a brutal attack on a 911 dispatcher. New at 6, the 4 young suspects appear before a judge.
Well, the hunt is on for 2 wanted in a Detroit burglary. The crime occurred Saturday in the 5800 block of Emerald Springs Court. That's near Mound Road and Charles Street. You see here the 2 rummaged through an assisted living facility office that they broke into. Several file folders containing personal information of the residents who live at the facility were taken. You're urged to contact Detroit police if you know anything about what happened. All right, now to a Help Me Hank special report. President Trump has called the Affordable Care Act a disaster that needs to be overhauled. Supporters say health care will not only offer more options, but will become more affordable.
But opponents worry some could be left without coverage and may be forced to pay more for certain care. Our consumer investigator Hank Winchester is teaming up with Dr. Frank McGeorge to look at how you could be infected in all of this.
Millions right now covered by the Affordable Care Act, or Obamacare. Some say it's everything they need, others complaining about the rising cost. Now President Trump saying big changes are coming, and experts believe they are coming very soon. Healthcare in America. President Trump has made it clear he believes changes need to be made. Some agree, some worry.
My kids have to go to the market to get it, and it's expensive, and they don't get much for it.
I am nervous about the potential for so many people to be without insurance.
So how could changes to Obamacare affect you? There's a lot of debate, but Local 4 Dr. Frank McGeorge says expect one thing for sure. Change is coming.
Even if nothing were to change, the Secretary of Health and Human Services, a presidential appointee, has incredible range to do things to the existing implementation.
Obamacare requires coverage of some things like birth control without a copay. It's been a controversial part of the plan, and some speculate it will likely change quickly.
There are going to be changes across the board that touch any kind of a social tenor. So anything like birth control, contraceptive rights, even frankly approaches to child care. Those are all going to probably be on the table to be changed.
One thing that could stop immediately, cost sharing. The new administration could stop paying insurance companies to help keep health insurance costs low for low-income clients. That could have wide-ranging effects. Preventative care coverage could also be changed. Right now, hospital visits, doctor visits, some prescriptions, they're covered, and there's no limit to the number of visits, but a cap could be applied. Other changes affect cost. President Trump has blasted the rising cost of Obamacare, saying seniors and those on limited incomes have dramatically been affected. The president says his plan will make health care more affordable and more accessible. Right now, the question is, how will the new plan get paid for? And how will it all work?
They want to keep the best parts, which frankly do cost money, maybe add some things to cover more people, but they don't want to increase the overall cost to society. And that's going to be pretty tough to do.
Congress is already working on restructuring the Affordable Care Act. Some changes could be made right away. Others could take quite a while. I'm Hank Winchester. Help me, Hank. Back to you.
Okay, Hank, and ahead at 6, Dr. McGeorge is in to show us what the Affordable Care Act seemingly got right when it comes to a very specific type of cancer. Again, that's coming up on the news at 6.
Well, Ben keeps getting it right, unfortunately.
But we don't like it.
Yeah, we don't have to like what's going on. Yeah. It's just really still gloomy and dreary.
Yeah. I thought about going to the producer and say, can we just run Groundhog Day in place of weather?
There we go.
That'd be more enjoyable.
I love the movie.
Ned Ryan.
Hey, Ned the Head.
But that's what it's starting to seem like. And you look out the airport, we've got a lot of clouds out there right now.
The shingles real bad. 10th grade, almost didn't graduate. 12th grade.
You got the whole thing down there.
I do.
What is it? Southwest that says want to get away? I think that's a lot of people are probably booking flights to Florida right now, considering that we've been in this pattern for a while. 39 is where we sit. Haven't had any real complaints as far as temperatures go. Winds are out of the west-northwest at 12, so it is enough to give us a wind chill right now that's just about the freezing mark across most of the area. Haven't seen much fog today, which I guess is an improvement. It's a little bit there in Lapeer and somewhat at Metro Airport, but generally a full 10 miles across most of the area. Satellite image has shown that we do have clouds on here, and it's starting to show these breaking up. It's probably just a satellite artifact here. I don't think that we're actually going to see those clouds thin. But look at this. Out here to the west, that's snow, and it is heading in our direction. First thing that we're going to get off of that is rain, though, and it's going to be tomorrow afternoon when we see it. So generally dry conditions until then. Some scattered showers start rolling in here in the second half of Wednesday. Again, the bulk of that moisture is going to be in the northern sections of the state. We're just going to kind of get clipped on the back side of it by Thursday morning when temperatures will be cool enough to support snow. So going out for the morning commute on Thursday, brace yourselves. I know it's January, but we will be seeing snow, believe it or not, as we head to work on Thursday morning. Probably not much. In fact, we're not looking for any accumulation, but going to be enough to slicken up the roads in a couple spots, and then maybe a couple bands of snow here on Friday as we get that lake effect machine kicking in to close out the week. 33 tonight for the overnight low, so staying above freezing generally with cloudy skies. Highs tomorrow, we're going to call it 40, at least at the metro zone, but it is going to be a pretty wide range in temperature because coming with that system is going to be just a push of warm air, but it's not going to get to everybody. We're going to be at 40 here in the city of Detroit, upper 30s in the northern section of our metro zone. But look down here in our south zone tomorrow where that warm air just sort of bubbles up north of the state line, close to 50 here in Lambertville and Blissfield, but in the northern sections of our south zone, Milan 41, Belleville 39, and then north of there are going to be a lot of folks that don't get out of the 30s for high temperatures tomorrow. Mid to upper 30s across most of the west zone, and north of M59 in our north zone tomorrow, it's all 30s. Is that warm air not going to get anywhere close to you? 36 in Sandusky, 35 in Rochester Hills, and 36 in Macomb tomorrow afternoon. So we'll hit 40 one more time after that snow falls in the morning on Thursday. And then after that, it's all average from here out. Sunday, maybe a couple breaks as we get some limited sun in here. Monday, we'll call it half and half. And then we're right back to the clouds on Tuesday. So soak it all in while you can for about
just pitiful
24 hours.
It'll mean less mud coming in on the dog's paws. I know that.
Yes.
I'm going to try and find the bright side wherever I can.
All right, Ben, thank you. Minnesota's governor collapses, delivering his State of the State address ahead here at 5. What Mark Dayton is admitting today after last night's big scare.
But first, stories from across Michigan, including a special honor for Sleeping Bear Dunes. And we'll have that next. Karen.
The defenders on the money trail. After this local woman is charged with embezzlement from the Autism Society.
Were you even aware of these charges?
Who is she? The defenders take you inside the investigation tomorrow at 5.
Across Michigan this Tuesday, we're following stories from Empire up in northern Michigan and Bay City.
Let's start this roundup, though, in Saginaw. That's where police say 2 masked gunmen stormed into a federal halfway house and executed a man who was released from prison after having his sentence reduced by President Obama. DeMarlon Thomas was a former member of Saginaw's Sunnyside gang. Police say he was shot and killed Monday night at Banham Place, a federal halfway house in Saginaw. One man held a gun on the other 23 people in the house, while his partner apparently executed Thomas. His 19-year prison sentence was commuted by President Obama in November after Thomas had served 8 years. No one else was wounded in the shooting, but no arrests have been made either.
Oh my goodness. A Bay City teen who accidentally shot himself in the chest, then claimed a burglar did it, will spend the next 2 years on probation as part of his plea deal. Police were responding at a home back in May when they found 17-year-old Andrew Hurd with a visible gunshot wound to the chest. When asked who shot him, he said he didn't know, but later told police a burglar did it. Police learned that Hurd shot himself and that the gun he used had been stolen. And way up north, one of the state's most popular tourist destinations was just recognized as one of the best beaches in the world by National Geographic. What a great honor.
Good day for pure Michigan. We're talking, of course, about Sleeping Bear Point, part of the Sleeping Bear Dunes at the northern tip of the Lower Peninsula. It's not the Sleeping Bear Dunes' first major accolade either. It was named the most beautiful place in the world by Good Morning America in 2011.
Yeah.
And now here it is as among the best beaches in the world from National Geographic.
Fantastic. And you can swim with your eyes open because it's fresh water, right?
You're right. A little chilly.
A little chilly, right now, but you can.
Back with more in a minute.
New at 5:30.
Wicked weather, a dangerous nor'easter marches up the East Coast.
I'm Nick Monticelli. A beautiful 12-year-old girl killed by a drunk driver last year. Today, that driver, after 12 previous DUIs, was sentenced to prison.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5:30 starts now.
Sorry just isn't enough.
I had to watch my daughter fight for her life while he was on the side of the road without a care in the world.
A heartbroken mother confronts the man who took her young daughter's life. Topping our news at 5:30, you've heard it said before, nothing worse for a parent than having to bury your own child.
Well, last year, that's exactly what the Mack family had to do. And today, they confronted the man who confessed to killing 12-year-old Victoria Mack. Charles Cahill says he confessed to spare the family of a trial. This body camera footage also helped prosecutors prove their case. But as Nick Monticelli reports for the family, his confession was too little, way too late.
I've got to tell you, I've been in court for a lot of these types of sentencings, and this one was one of the most emotional. The courtroom was packed, and almost every single person touched emotionally by what was said.
I don't forgive you. You took something from me that is a very important part of my life.
Darlena Savage peers through her tears at the man who confessed to getting drunk, driving, and killing her daughter, 12-year-old Victoria Mack. It happened in July of last year in Sumter Township. Charles Cahill was driving 89 miles per hour on a 2-lane country road before smashing into the family minivan. They were coming home from a day at the beach. Victoria was in the back row. Assistant Prosecutor Mike Reynolds reminded the court of how her mother was reaching through the shattered back window, reaching for her daughter.
And she's saying, Victoria, stay with us. Victoria, help's on the way.
You live around here? One of the more shocking things is this body cam footage showing just how drunk Cahill was and the fact that he had 12 prior drunk driving convictions.
You had plenty of opportunities to change your life, but you didn't. And my daughter had to pay the price.
And now he will. Cahill was sentenced to 27 to 50 years in prison for second-degree murder.
And some days I just cry because I miss her so much.
I am responsible for her death. The death of Victoria Mack, 12-year-old child that I can't forgive myself. I wish it was me.
He had 12 prior chances to change his ways. He doesn't deserve a 13th.
Now, because he doesn't have a sentence of 27 to 50 years, an appeal is not an automatic. However, he does have that opportunity if Mr. Cahill chooses. At the Frank Murphy Hall of Justice, Nick Monticelli, Local 4.
Cahill also pled guilty to other charges like drunk driving causing death. At the time of the crash, Cahill's license had been suspended for the past 30 years.
2 men suspected of being involved in a deadly Detroit gas station shooting back in court this afternoon. Derek Everson and Kyrell Alonzo bound over, while 26-year-old Joseph Lucas, who police say was the getaway driver, was not in court, but the 3 are accused of killing 24-year-old Javon Perry at a Marathon gas station on Gratiot and State Fair. While the weather here in Metro Detroit relatively calm, some of our northeastern state mates left picking up the pieces this morning after being hit by a fierce storm that has actually now claimed dozens of lives.
And over the weekend, that same storm system spawned over 30 tornadoes that tore all across the South. Ben joins us now, taking a look at what type of damage this storm caused and the lives it claimed.
Yeah, record-setting. Actually, Karen and Devin, 16 deaths on Sunday alone, made it the second most deaths in one day by a January storm in U.S. history. You're looking at video from Massachusetts, flooded roads, down power lines, and another lingering threat, strong gale force winds. One man actually killed in Philadelphia when a sign was blown off of a car dealership, and right now the winds still haven't died down.
It's pretty bad. I was standing up by the jetty and I was getting blown forward. I was getting scared.
And take a look at Georgia, where 15 deaths over the weekend have been attributed to the same storm system. Now the region begins its road to recovery as the storm itself is moving north, fortunately leaving us here in Michigan out of its path. But you look at what is left of this nor'easter and you can see this huge swirl here, and you look at the connection down here. When we show you a different view of the satellite, this thing is connected all the way down to the Caribbean, just sucking in that moisture like it's a vacuum hose there and spreading it through parts of Maine, which are still under winter storm warnings. We'll look at our mild air and how things are going to change for us coming up in a few minutes. Devin?
Ben. Today, President Trump said his focus was on jobs and says he wants to restart the controversial Keystone XL and Dakota Access pipeline projects. Steve Handelsman is at the White House tonight with more. Steve.
Devin, here at the White House today, President Trump promised he will negotiate better deals on both, but he says he's green-lighting these 2 controversial projects because both will put people to work. President Trump kept more campaign promises.
Okay, Keystone Pipeline.
Reviving the project killed by President Obama, the Trump priority.
A lot of jobs, 28,000 jobs.
He's also saving the Dakota Access Pipeline. The Standing Rock Sioux protested would spoil drinking water and sacred sites. Build both, said Mr. Trump, with all-American pipe, not half from foreign makers as planned.
We build the pipelines, we want to build the pipe. Going to put a lot of workers, a lot of steel workers back to work.
On message, but not last night. The president told lawmakers again he lost the popular vote because millions of what he called illegals cast ballots.
And he continues to maintain that belief based on studies and evidence that people have presented to him.
I am begging the president, share with us the information you have about this, or please stop saying it.
The White House would not rule out a federal probe.
There is no investigation. I said it was possible. Anything is possible. It was a hypothetical question.
But it's already a distraction from the Trump focus on jobs. Next week, President Trump promised he will have a Supreme Court nominee. At the White House, Steve Handelsman, Local 4.
All right, Steve. Well, the governor of Minnesota has announced he has been diagnosed with cancer.
But Governor Mark Dayton does not believe it had anything to do with a frightening moment during last night's State of the State address. Governor Dayton paused near the end of the speech, and then, as you're about to see, he collapsed at the podium. Aides rushed to his side to lower him safely to the floor. Doctors checked him out later. Today, Dayton revealed he had a prostate biopsy last week.
We received those results on last Friday afternoon, which confirmed that it is cancer almost certainly, and that it has not spread almost certainly.
Minnesota Governor Mark Dayton will meet with doctors today in hopes of learning what caused his collapse last night. He expects to discuss his cancer treatments with doctors next week. The state of Michigan is moving forward with plans to replace its aging voting machines. Today, the state administrative board authorized up to $82 million in spending over the next 10 years. The money will go toward new ballot tabulating machines, election management software, as well as maintenance. The state is expected to cover half of the costs. Secretary of State Ruth Johnson says the new systems will offer voters better speed and convenience, and also the ability to go back and look at a paper version of your ballot.
Let's hope so. Let's hope so. It was chaos where we were. Exactly right. Yep. Well, in this case, a bank may have been a better idea, but he couldn't.
New tonight why one guy stashed $20 million in his mattress.
Good gracious. And this wheelchair could change the world. What makes it so different and why it could help change the lives of so many? Just ahead. Doc?
Many skincare products contain exfoliating microbeads, but now they're being removed from products. I'll have the concern and what you can do to reduce it.
Why are these kids...
New at 6.
As the Pontiac Silverdome continues its slow decay, the parking lot is suddenly filling up. Something unique about these nearly new vehicles being stashed at the former home of the Lions.
Plus 2 stranger danger alerts in less than a week in a part of Macomb County. New at 6 why 3 children were alarmed by a man driving this van.
First, let's get to good health here at 5:30. You've seen skincare products probably with exfoliating beads. They're supposed to give your complexion a vibrancy, I guess, but microbeads are being removed from products now.
This worries me because I
purchased
these. I thought that they were making my skin vibrant.
You look fabulous. You'll have to find another way.
I know. Dr. McGeorge is here to explain what the concern is and what you can do to reduce the threat.
Well, Karen and Devin, it is making your skin vibrant, but the concern about microbeads is that they are, well, they're micro and they're made of plastic. So when you use a product with microbeads and then they go down the drain, they go into the environment. And because of their size, they're easily eaten by fish and then potentially end up concentrated in our food supply. Estheticians say exfoliation is an important step in your beauty routine. The benefit is it keeps us looking young, vibrant, and it sloughs the skin, which encourages it to absorb moisture. But these exfoliants are accused of harming the environment and ultimately us.
It's going into the ocean, and the fish are actually eating these microbeads, which are plastic beads, getting in their belly, and then eventually it'll turn up on your table to eat.
That's dangerous because other chemicals can also cling to the plastic, enhancing its concentration in our food. Because of that, federal law now bans plastic microbeads in certain rinse-off cosmetics. The beads are made of plastics like polyethylene, polypropylene, polymethacrylate, or nylon. Last year, Crest removed these from toothpaste because some dentists reported infections when the beads got lodged in the gum line. The problem is, microbeads are still allowed in detergents and cosmetics that can be left on the skin. The best solution is for consumers to look for natural exfoliators like jojoba, silt, or diatomaceous earth.
It's a natural sedimentary occurring rock because you still need a type of bead, remember, either a chemical or a bead to exfoliate.
Now, obviously, given our location on the Great Lakes, this is an issue that has a lot of impact on Michigan. And in fact, Michigan lawmakers played an important role in the federal legislation that's beginning to reduce the burden of microbead pollution in our water. But it's something that's getting out into our water.
I feel horrible. I think.
Well, I don't know. I'd feel horrible, but just do your
perhaps, yes,
I'm not going to use that anymore.
Because there are more and more natural ingredient items coming out now that this has become a concern.
That's exactly right. In fact, most producers have actually shifted to natural things and getting away from the plastic microbead.
And you can do stuff at home, like the baking sodas.
Right. There's other ways to exfoliate your skin that do not involve expensive microbeads.
Okay. Thanks,
Big handful of sand. Just
right.
rub that. Yeah.
Just let me know if it's still in my face when I get on the air. All right. Well, you've heard the admonition before. Don't try this at home.
Here's something you probably shouldn't try anywhere.
Oh my goodness.
Snowmobiler in Sweden became the first person to ever do a double backflip on a snowmobile. Actually, let's say the first person to ever do it intentionally. This is Daniel Bowden, very familiar with this kind of stunt. Previously, 3 gold medals at the Winter X Games. He'll compete at this year's Winter X Games too, coming up in Aspen at the end of the month. But a double backflip on a snowmobile.
Don't you